Is this sequel just as good? Let's find out. Hello Fanatics, I'm Dylan Phillips, and this is the Film Fanatic Review bringing you Deadpool 2, starring Ryan Reynolds, Josh Brolin, and Morena Baccarin. First, we'll tell you what the movie is about, and our initial thoughts. Then we'll move on to our spoiler-free likes and dislikes. We'll finish up with some spoiler-heavy thoughts on this film, and our final word. Deadpool 2 follows the story of a foul-mouthed mutant mercenary who brings together a team of fellow mutant outcasts to protect a young boy from a brutal, time-traveling cyborg. Overall, I enjoyed this film. It wasn't as groundbreaking as its predecessor, but it definitely stays on par. For what I liked about this film, let's start off with the performances. Everyone does a great job in this film keeping up with the hilarious antics of the first one, but the biggest standouts to me are Ryan Reynolds, Josh Brolin, and Zazie Beetz. Ryan Reynolds continues to show that he was born to play the merc with a mouth, delivering both his comedic lines and brutal action sequences with expert timing and ease. The addition of Josh Brolin furthers the strength of this story, as he brings another hardened and engaging character to the team that acts as the no-nonsense foil to Deadpool's crazy personality. Meanwhile, Zazie Beetz is the best new character, as her ability, fighting style, and charisma instantly add another much-needed female character to this franchise. The comedy of this sequel is great, as it's able to throw out rapid-fire one-liners without feeling overstuffed. And it has its small dramatic moments in between that allows the fourth wall to be built back up until Deadpool crashes through it once again, like the Kool-Aid Man. Speaking of the story, this sequel does the most Deadpool thing it could with a big blockbuster sequel, and that's continue to rely on its unique tone and style without oversaturating it with the idea that bigger is better. The story doesn't look to the prototypical "we need to save the world" trope, but instead a protagonist that needs to find and save himself, making the stakes incredibly low, which is understandable for an immortal hero. Regardless, the story continues to have a surprising amount of unpredictability and shock value, which falls right in line with the tone that these films proudly stress as their own. And the action sequences are really good in this film, as David Leitch, the director of John Wick, is able to add some character and personality to each of the individual fight scenes. However, with the stakes so low in this film, a lot of people might see a lack of urgency with the story and therefore not really enjoy that there's no huge transformational arc. And the writing is a little dull at times, which the film even makes fun of itself, but that doesn't make up for the inadequacies. And that's where I'll end our spoiler-free thoughts on this film. If you want to hear a final word or rating of this film, pause now and click the link in the description, because now it's time for spoilers. I was really surprised to learn about how many big names were added to the cast of this film, and as they kept revealing them as members of X-Force, I was really excited for what that meant for the franchise going forward. But after seeing the movie, I can understand why they got so many of them to come in for this film. From Terry Crews, Bill Skarsgård, and Brad Pitt, this team was looking to be one that rivaled any huge superhero team-up, and then they did the most Deadpoolian thing they could and killed every single one of them. Deadpool did go back in time and save Peter though, so he could have potentially saved the rest of the team as well. Maybe it's false hope. I just want to see Terry Crews in X-Force. And do you remember that scene where Cable is introduced and he teleports in by the hillbillies? Matt Damon's playing the talking one in some heavy prosthetics. It seems that he's making the rounds of all the superhero films. He did Thor Ragnarok, and now he's done Deadpool, so perhaps he'll be in a DCEU film next year. Also, shout out to the film's funniest moment when Deadpool makes a reference about Josh Brolin playing Thanos. And the best scenes to me were the X-Force roll call, the X-Force parachute scene, the Cable introduction, Deadpool as an X-Men trainee, the X-Men cameo, Domino's lucky action sequence, Colossus vs. Juggernaut, and the end credits time travel sequence. So, with the thoughts heard, here's our final word. Deadpool 2 is an entertaining superhero sequel that rides the line of being too safe when trying to follow in the shoes of its predecessor's success. While the plot is a bit thin and lacks high stakes, the performances, meta jokes, action, and tone help make this sequel and its fourth wall breaking antics well worth it. This film is everything that you'd expect from a Deadpool story, so I'm gonna give Deadpool 2 an 8. Thanks everyone for watching our review. Are you planning on seeing Deadpool 2? Or if you've already seen it, do you have something to add? What did you think of the story? Let us know in the comments below. I'm Dylan Phillips, and this has been the Film Fanatic Review. If you like this video and you want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Check out our latest Fanatic 5 video where we discuss the top Jennifer Lawrence roles. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. And until next time, Fanatics, keep it real.